Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Tech Medic. Thank you for joining me today. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Abiotic Factor and the New Game Plus. What do I mean by New Game Plus? Well, as soon as you set up your server settings as well as your character, pick all of your attributes, you're thrown into the game. Well, I wanted to go ahead and create an environment in which I bring everything from where I was up to in the storyline, meaning that I came all the way from the dam, and that last patch, since then there's been a ton of additions to the game, the sharpening of a lot of the mechanics, and of course I wanted to start over, but you know, I didn't want to do all that hoofing around and doing all the tracking for the hacker that you're going to utilize to break open to all of these locks, but I also didn't want to compromise my save on the other end, nor kind of fumble my way through the game, because I know that the narrative has changed quite a bit. But let's talk about the New Game Plus features. So you pretty much spawn in as is. The only thing that I did is spawn in and place everything where it needs to be, meaning that I had to jump from one save to the other with my character data in order to bring all this stuff over here. And of course, the whole factor here is that first quest over there, climbing through the ventilation and all that, as we can go ahead and take a look over here, ventilation grates are still there, meaning that nothing has been initiated yet. And of course, the character in question that we have here is set up in a way so that you get the benefits of the transkinetic researcher, which just gives you an all-around good bonus, plus many of the other effects that you can have, including fanny pack, which adds 2 hotbar slots right there on number 9 and number 0. And of course, like I was talking about, you start off with fresh progression on this one, so everything here you're gonna have to level up, and it gives you that ability to go ahead and discover the entire Abiotic Factor world. The only thing that I did not include in this to make it a New Game Plus is any materials to craft. You will have to find those on your own. So what do you get? You get gear. You get a set of gear for you and your friends. You get the resistance suits, the diving suits, the rat radiation suit. You've got the jetpacks, the void packs, some power drills, the key hacker tier 5s. Going on into the weapons, you get all of the laser katanas, machine guns, the x-ray lamp, as well as the quill gun and a number of other things, as well as repair materials, some thermite molotovs that you can utilize. You also get a ton of ammunition for these, and of course more storage should you want to expand and collect those materials. You also have a bunch of medicine, a specialized hazard crate for radioactive material that you can go ahead and place in here. You've got a crafting bench over here that you can go ahead and take a look at all these different supplies. Of course, all of these supplies were just learned on this character from opening the crates and getting all those. Got a repair salvage station over here. You've got your water cooler. You've got a fridge with some starter food, of course, canned peas, and of course all of the bio scrap that I collected. A cooking station, a chef's counter, and of course you will have to find all these recipes. 2 charging stations, 2 10,000 milliliter water purifiers. Basically you just pour the water on the top from the dirty pool out front. You can haul water back and forth, or you can just wait for it to fill up with the moisture teleporters. So all of these come with the industrial batteries, so that these moisture teleporters continue to produce potable water for you to drink Same thing goes for the cooking stove over here, as well as the refrigerators. And of course, in order to go ahead and keep your base safe, this battery industrial grade will keep your workbench on so that you're in a relatively safe spot. With that, we also have a laser emitter with a laser collector. This is used to charge the laser weapons inside of the crate over there. And like I said, we have 2 beds over here, one for you and a friend. And of course, planting beds, so that you can go ahead and plant whatever seeds that you find and get the show on the road. So like I said, the game initially starts, the sectors are all staved off. The reason why I had to do this was because it was a pain in the butt from my main save, because the world save underscore facility, that covers everything. That covers every placeable that you have. That's why it was extremely hard to kind of transfer your progress over from one world to the other. With that, I noticed that there was certain doors that would refuse to open. There were certain metadata built into the world save itself that ultimately hindered you from getting the quest progression. So the only way to do that was to create a totally new environment and then transfer everything over that way. Well, I went ahead and did that, and I went ahead and created the character with the server settings all packaged up and available on my Patreon for you to download for a low price of 3 pesos. Well, $3. But it's about the price of a cup of coffee or a dog treat, whatever you are generous enough to offer. But with that, guys, I hope that you enjoy this Patreon Abiotic Factor New Game Plus. Remember, you're going to have to collect all the materials to craft all of the recipes, but the majority of the hard stuff has already been crafted and placed in this base. And from the dam hatch on is where I left off. So there's quite a bit of information and content in the game. This game is massive. I can't wait to get back into it. Now that I've got this all squared away, I can go ahead and start this New Game Plus run, which will allow me to go ahead and experience the story over again, get into some of those headaches, and of course create more content for my channel in order to go ahead and expand my library. But with that, guys, thank you very much for your time. The instructions are on the Patreon. Please check it out. And of course, we'll see you all in the next one. Have a good night. Bye bye.